The Legend of Zelda live action film premieres March 26th, 2027, announced via the Nintendo Today app. So, this is something I wanted to go ahead and talk about. I seen this news over the weekend, and of course, everyone was talking about it. So, me being a huge Legend of Zelda fan, I did want to kind of give my thoughts and everything like that on this as well. Now, I've mentioned in some of my other videos the fact that they were planning on doing a Legend of Zelda film. I'm a little bit skeptical on it, to be honest with you guys. I'm not really the biggest fan of, especially today with the way that movies have been coming out, the way that writers have been and everything in that regard. I'm not necessarily keen on having a Legend of Zelda film, and I'm especially not keen on having one be live action. Just because with it being a live action film, I feel like there's so much room for there to be things that people can, go against and not like and everything like that. If it was, in my opinion, I would have preferred, like, if it was up to me, that they actually did like a anime kind of style of a Legend of Zelda film, or if they did something more like kind of computer animated the way they had done the Super Mario Brothers film. I feel like that probably would have worked a little bit better for the Legend of Zelda. The the one thing I will say though that I am kind of like has me a little bit hopeful is the fact that I know Nintendo is very, very blunt when it comes down to their IPs. Like they don't like their IPs being done in a bad way or anything like that. I know some people are kind of like, "Well, have you ever seen the 1990s Super Mario Brothers film?" But yeah, that was one of the things that kind of stopped Nintendo from doing movies on their franchises for so many years. So yeah, they take their stuff very seriously, like their IPs and everything like that. So that is one of the things that is kind of giving me a little bit of hope in regards to them not messing this up. But at the same time, seeing some of the information that we got, like Avi Arad, from my understanding, that's probably not the best individual you probably want in regards to being in charge of a Legend of Zelda film. But at the same time, for me, I'm just hoping that this is gonna be good. Now, there's a few informations that we got here. Obviously, with it being announced that it's going to be coming out in 2027, there was some information I also read where it stated that the individuals that are signing up for this film are going to be signing a 6-year deal, so like a contract that's going to last up to 3 films, and that's one of the things that I'm kind of curious as to how that's going to go exactly, if they're going to be planning on doing a trilogy out of this, if it's going to be one of those things where they're going to kind of go in the direction somewhat of the games where they have it so that they, you start off with like maybe the first film will be kind of young Link, the second film will kind of be him a little bit older, and then the third film will kind of be him as an adult, kind of doing his thing and going into like the later dungeons and everything like that. And from the sounds of it, it does seem like it's going to be one of those things where Link is going to be going through dungeons and everything like that. That'd be my guess. But yeah, it's still it was just announced, so you know what I mean. The information that's going to be coming out further for it is up in the air right now. But yeah, there is some things that we got here and there. So this is one of the things. I mean, this isn't really too much. It doesn't give like any information, but I thought it'd be cool just to check this out really quick as well. Got The Legend of Zelda. The live action film of The Legend of Zelda will be released worldwide on March 26th, 2027. So pretty much two years from now, it's going to be coming out. And yeah, some of the information that we had also gotten right here. So the shooting dates will be November 4th, 2025 to April 7 of 2026. So pretty much in a few months, they're going to start filming the film. And then it's going to be located in New Zealand. That's where they're going to be filming. Now, that's actually something that has me pretty excited, with the location that they're actually going to be doing, because I believe the Lord of the Rings films were filmed in New Zealand. So looking at the landscape that they use for those films, that kind of leaves me with a little bit of hope, because that really does look like the type of world you would see in The Legend of Zelda as far as like Hyrule goes and everything like that. And then there is a little bit of a summary here that they were able to give us. So, a live action adaptation of the video game franchise, The Legend of Zelda, follows Link, a young warrior destined to protect the magical kingdom of Hyrule from the forces of darkness. The land is under threat from Ganon, a ruthless warlord who seeks the Triforce, an ancient relic said to grant limitless power. To stop him, Link must embark on a perilous journey, battling monstrous creatures, exploring treacherous dungeons, and solving intricate puzzles to uncover sacred artifacts that can aid him in his quest. And that is a little bit of thing that something that kind of has me a little bit hopeful is talking about how he's going to be getting ancient artifacts and everything like that, or sacred artifacts, because it is, kind of in the hopes that they are going to have it so that the character in the films will actually be going through dungeons and will be able to actually get some of the items that you see so much of. The bow. Hopefully, he'll be able to get like an ocarina. I think that would be pretty cool, but I feel like that really depends on the direction they're going to go in, because I don't think they're necessarily going to be going in the direction of like a specific game. I think they're going to probably be doing their own story, but kind of follow the tropes of the Legend of Zelda. So yeah, hopefully it'll be something like I said where you can get like the bow. Obviously, he'll get like the Master Sword. He'll have some bombs. So just stuff like that, items that the hook shot and things like that that you're kind of used to seeing in the video games that'll be coming out into the movies themselves. So that'll be my hope right there. And then like I said, I'm really hoping that they're, since it is going to be a trilogy, they are going to be doing it where it is going to be kind of going from like younger Link, middle-aged Link, and then kind of the adult Link, and then obviously going in the directions of like him going through different types of dungeons. So I don't know, man. I feel like Ocarina of Time is kind of, I feel like the direction they probably should be going in that regard if they decided to kind of do it that route, because of the fact that in Ocarina of Time, Link is able to kind of do the first three dungeons. So obviously the Deku Tree, the Goron Village, and then the Zora's the fish and everything like that as a child. Kind of maybe do it so that when he gets a little bit older, he can go through like another set of dungeons, and then kind of at the end, maybe have him do like a dungeon or two, and then kind of face off against Ganon, or kind of just have it. Maybe the second film is just dungeons, and then the third one is just mainly his adventure to kind of defeat Ganon, kind of a thing. So I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, I'm a little bit skeptical just because I'm not too big of a fan of them doing it live action. Just because I don't know who they can cast as Link that'll really be like, yeah, that's a good person. I know a lot of people have been throwing out names and everything like that of like known actors. Personally, I would actually prefer if they decided to go with unknowns, unknowns for Link, unknowns for Zelda, Ganondorf. Everyone that's gonna be in this film would be someone that you probably have never heard of. That would be my hopes in the hopefully the direction that they decide to go in, just because if you put like a specific name that's kind of known, I feel like it'll kind of it kind of muddy the waters, so to speak, in regards to them doing a film, because people aren't going to just see Link the character, they're going to see so and so playing as Link, or so and so, this actor, this actress playing as Zelda or Ganondorf, kind of a thing. It's going to kind of take away from the film itself a little bit, in my opinion. So I don't know, man. Hopefully that they do well with this. I have faith in Nintendo again, like I stated, but I feel like whoever's gonna be helping Nintendo produce it, I want to get more information on them just to kind of see what I feel in that direction. And then this is one of the tweets that we had got in regards to the announcement made. And there was just some of the photos I thought was pretty funny here on Twitter. So I am Link, you see Jack Black. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. And then this one made me laugh right here. I'm like, oh look, it's Netflix's Link. You know what I mean? If Netflix were to be doing the adaptation of The Legend of Zelda, which I thought was pretty funny. And then stuff like this is kind of why I've kind of been against doing a live action version of The Legend of Zelda, just because Tom Holland. Nothing against Tom Holland as an actor, but I just if they were to do something like that where he's gonna be Link, I feel like that would just there's a lot of room for people to be like, no, I don't see that, or that's not who I would want to have as Link. And then Zendaya, if obvious, I mean obviously for obvious reasons, I wouldn't want that. You know what I mean? Because that's not Zelda right there. And then this was another one that some people were mentioning, was that I guess this actor is a trans actor from Euphoria, and I wouldn't want that to be the case. I mean, they do have a good look as far as Zelda goes, but the fact that they're trans, I feel like that would just cause too much controversy for the film itself. And that personally, I would just really hope that there's as little controversy, there's as little things that people get upset with, because of the fact that I love this franchise so much and this franchise means so much to me. So it's like if we can just kind of avoid conflicts or have just no names and just kind of keep it as good as we can. This one I thought was actually pretty funny. Rachel Zegler signs on as Link because of the way that things went with the Snow White film. I thought that would be pretty funny. And then is that it? I think that was it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, man. I mean, I'm very skeptical, if I'm being honest, as far as how this film is gonna go, with the direction that's gonna be taken in. But I'm having my fingers crossed, and I'm just hoping it goes well. We're gonna get more information obviously as time passes, and as of course as time passes and we get more information, I will be doing more videos on the subject and everything, and we can go ahead and get talk about it and kind of give some more information. But yeah, at this point right now, the only thing I can personally do is just have my fingers crossed and just hope that Nintendo does a great job and they're able to actually do well with making a film out of this franchise. Because I mean, I didn't mind the Super Mario Brothers movie, but at the end of the day, I'm like, it's all right, just because it doesn't necessarily follow the path of Super Mario. Like they kind of took it in a different direction, but for what they decided to go with, I felt like it kind of worked and it was okay. But when it comes down to The Legend of Zelda, that's my favorite franchise that Nintendo has. So that's one of those things where I'm hoping they do a good job, and I'm very protective of this IP, and I don't want to see it get messed up or changed in any type of way. So again, hopefully it'll be the case that things go well, but at this point we can only just wait and see. So those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you guys could like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you guys have been watching this long, I really appreciate it. And yeah, until next time, Harmonic out. Peace.